right, y'all, come on in, come on in. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. All right, y'all, come on in, man. It's a lot going on early this morning. Early this Early. Come on in. What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. Gerald Jackson, live in New York City, where a verdict watch is underway. Sean Diddy Combs is in a holding cell right now, while 12 jurors are deliberating his fate. Y'all, it's been a lot of drama going on this morning. Y'all come on in here. Hurry up. Come on. As you come on in, make sure you share the live. Let me know where you're watching from. Hope you all had a good night's rest. What's up, y'all? Good morning from uh, from China. Somebody say China. Good morning from Michigan. Baby, I ain't got to go to China. All I got to do is go to Chinatown up here. Let me show y'all the little fit today. Y'all already see what it is. Ain't nothing major. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing major out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Got a little camouflage. Got my camouflage on today. Can y'all see it? Got an olive green shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Got the ponytail. Skin looking on fleek always. You know what I'm saying? Camera got me looking crazy. Head shaped a certain type of way. But it's okay though. What's up? What's up, y'all? Listen, so let me get right into it, right? So let me tell y'all, remember yesterday afternoon around 4:30 p.m., the jury had came with a question. Remember I was telling y'all that I was in the courtroom in the overflow, and I just left. I was in the overflow, and we saw people start assembling. These attorneys for the prosecution and attorneys for the defense. Come on, y'all, thumbs up the video. Come on, it's 200. I can't. I mean, it's on stream, y'all, but it's 264 of y'all in here, right? 274. Now, come on, y'all. If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. Come on. If you're on Facebook, give me a thumbs up. Come on, share the live, all right? All right, so listen, y'all remember, boom. So yesterday, let me just say this. The jury has already asked 3 questions total, okay? 3 questions total. The first one was, well, they sent 3 notes. The first one was they sent that they picked the 4th person because the judge told them to go in the back tomorrow once they deliberate and pick your 4th person. So they did that. Then they come out with a second note, which was the distribution note, which I told y'all about yesterday. And then they sent a note with that one asking judge, can we leave at 5 and come back at 9 o'clock? The judge allowed that. But the judge did say that this morning, Tuesday morning, that he was going to answer the question about this distribution. Now, let me read to y'all the question, okay? Good morning to everybody. The question is, if a recipient asks for a controlled substance and they hand over the controlled substance, did they distribute it? Distribute it. Okay, boom. So the judge had said yesterday that he was going to refer the jurors to page 37 of the jury instructions in line 1 through 3. And I'm going to read that for y'all in just a few moments. Now, when we get in court this morning, okay, there is a little back and forth between Mr. Anifalo and the judge. Basically, the judge said that he's just going to give them page 37, line 1 through 3 for them to read. Come on, thumbs up the video, okay? Boom. Mr. Anifalo is like, well, judge, we would request that they read the entirety of the instruction, okay? Hold on, let me go to my notes. And then Mr. Anifalo said, Judge, I believe the court is doing something. The court is doing something that we were told not to do, or the court is doing something that it's not supposed to do, okay? And then Mr. Anifalo read the judge's instruction where he said that any instruction that he would have to consider, or any instruction that they would have to consider, would be as a whole and not part, okay? And the prosecution, the government is trying to argue, judge, reading the whole instruction would mislead the jury, you know? Now, Mr. Anifalo wants the court to give them the instruction about possession with the intent to distribute. But the prosecution is arguing, oh, that's going to be, it's going to be misleading to the jury. It's going to be confusing to the jury, for the simple fact that the jury just asked a simple question, and that was, if a recipient asked for a controlled substance and they hand over the controlled substance, did they distribute it? distributed. So the prosecution is like, Judge, this is just a question about an element, okay? This is a question about the element. So Mr. Anifalo and the judge do go back and forth a little bit. The judge is like, no, let me finish. Be quiet. I got this. Let me finish. And Mr. Anifalo just wasn't agreeing with this instruction that they should just read page 37, line 1 through 3. And we're going to read that in a few minutes, okay? So the government said, Judge, this is a question about the element. It will be misleading and confusing to read the whole charge as a whole because it's talking about other stuff, and not just this one question. So the question would be, well, to the question, the prosecution was like, yes, it would be distribution or whatever. And the defense is like, well, Judge, you're going to have to read the whole instruction. And the judge shot it down. He straight up denied everything that the defense wanted. And then he talked about how everybody had the opportunity to object to the instructions and all that stuff. And this part of the instructions, nobody objected to, okay? So the defense did also wanted to refer the jurors to page 38, and I believe line 3 through 7 or line 3 and 7, which basically talk about the person with the intent to distribute. So I guess they're trying to make the jury understand, hey, did he have the intent to do it? You get what I'm saying? Versus yes or no. If a recipient asks the question, or the recipient asks for a controlled substance and you give it to them, is that distribution or distributing, And so the defenses want them to read like he has to have the intent of it when it's just a simple question, to be honest with you, all right? So let me read to y'all the jury instruction, okay? Page 37, line 1 through 3. This is what the judge said he's going to send back to the jury for them to read. Okay, the word distribution means actual, constructive, or attempted transfer. To distribute simply means to deliver, to pass over, or to hand over something to another person or cause it to be delivered, passed on, or handed over to another. Distribution does not require a sale. So the judge is saying this instruction answers that question. If a recipient asks for a controlled substance and they hand over the controlled substance, what would be passed over, hand over, pass, or hand, because that's what it says, and they're actually using verbiage from the actual instruction, right? If a recipient asks for a controlled substance and they handed over the controlled substance, did they distribute it? The word distribution means actual, constructive, or attempted transfer. To distribute simply means to deliver, to pass over, or to hand over something to another person or cause it to be delivered. So if you read this and you read their question, the answer would be yes. Okay? So whatever that element or whatever they're trying to figure out, the answer would be yes to their question. And like I said earlier, it kind of seemed as though they probably was having some back and forth, because even some people up here was like, no, it's not distribution, or no, it has to be the amount of it and all that stuff. And it's just basically like, so they probably was going back and forth, and they was like, let's just ask the judge, if a recipient asks for a controlled substance and they hand over the controlled substance, so somebody gonna be like, told you, so didn't I tell you? So somebody gonna be like that today, okay, when they get this back. All right, now that's just my assumption. I'm not saying that's all what's happening in the jury room, but I'm just giving my assumption, okay? So let's go to line 38. Line 38, 3 through 7. Line 38. Okay, more than one person can have control over the same item. The law recognizes that possession may be sole or joint. If one person alone has actual or constructive possession of a thing, possession is sole. If more than one person has possession of it, as I have defined possession for you, the possession is joint. Finally, possession and ownership are not the same. A person can possess an object and not be the owner of the object. That is what is meant by possession. Let me read that one more time for y'all. Okay, possession with the intent to distribute. Okay, page 38, line 3 through 7. More than one person can have control over the same item. The law recognizes that possession may be sole or joint. Remember, more than one person can have control over this crack. let's just say crack, okay? The law recognizes that possession may be sold or joint. If one person alone has actual or constructive possession of crack, possession is sold. If more than one person has possession of the crack, as I have defined possession for you, the possession is joint. Finally, possession and ownership are not the same. A person can possess an object and not be the owner of the object. That is what is meant by possession. And y'all, I'm confused as hell. So I get what the judge means by this would be confusion, confusion. Because I'm still trying to figure, okay, if I got crack, how you gonna possess the crack? How would it be joint crack? Like, how would we possess the crack together? If I give you a piece, if I give you a piece of my crack, and you know, so I'm the owner of the crack, you just holding the crack for me. It's just, I mean, the easier example would be a phone. This is my phone, I'm letting you hold the phone. But I don't see how we are both joint, I don't know, how we joint in possession of, I don't know. So maybe that's what the confusion or what the judge was talking about that would confuse the jury. And I'm damn sure confused just by what y'all think. I thought we learned that was that Little John distribute 12 apples. Crack is crazy. Yo, Keon. Hey, Keon, I'm just saying. I mean, ain't that's confusion? Because if I read this and I have weed or crack or alcohol, then I would be the sole possession of it. But if I give you a piece of it, wouldn't that make you the sole possession of that piece? Because you know damn well, when you get pulled over by the police and y'all got crack in there, you all going down for it though. Don't nobody say it's mine. So I mean, at the end of the day, even on the street, people got to take sole possession. Well, I mean, I don't know. Let me read it again. Let me read their question and let me read to y'all what the defense wanted to put in. If a recipient asks for a controlled substance and they hand over the controlled substance, did they distribute it? Judge, we want you to read to them page 38, line 3 through 7. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, here we go. More than one person can have control over the same item. The law recognizes that possession may be sold or joint. If one person alone has actual or constructive possession of a thing, possession is sold. If more than one person has possession of it, I have defined possession for you, then possession is a joint. If one person, hold on, if more than one person has possession of it, I'm just trying to understand. Y'all help me out. How can one person have possession? How can more than one person have possession of one thing, though? All right. I'm sorry. If line 5, if more than one person has possession of it, as I have defined possession for you, the possession is joint. Finally, possession and ownership are not the same. A person can possess an object and not be the owner of the object. That is what is meant by possession. Then you got possession with the intent to distribute. Simply means that a person possesses a controlled substance with a state of mind or purpose to transfer it to another person. So I guess they're trying to say, I guess the defense is trying to say, well, um, did he have, or whoever had the controlled substance, and he had the mindset to give it. But if somebody asked for it, okay, and your friend or whoever give it to you, I would think that that's not the intent to. I would think that's not an intent to distribute. Because if you had the intent to distribute, then you would be like, hey, I got this for you. Here, get this, this such and such. Versus somebody coming up to you and asking you for it. I don't know, but the judge said, deny, 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 deny. I am referring the jury to page 37, line 1 through 3, and I'm going to read that to y'all again, and I'm going to get me some breakfast. The word distribution, jury, means actual, constructive, or attempted transfer. To distribute simply means to deliver, to pass over, or to hand over something to another person. So just by me giving you something, I'm distributing. Okay? Or cause it to be delivered, passed on, or handed over to another person. Distribution does not require sale. So if I give this guy my phone, I just distributed him my phone, I guess, God. So I don't know. So what y'all think? That would confuse the jury. You get what I'm saying? That would, and the prosecution was like, Judge, Miss Comey was like, Judge, how's on, Judge? How's the fuck on, Judge? I know Mr. Donald Trump may pardon Diddy if he's found guilty. But I want to let you know, Judge, that this is just to confuse the jury. So she was like, hey, Miss Comey was like, Judge, this is just simply to confuse the jury. This is just simply to confuse the jury. The judge agreed with the prosecution, okay? The judge also gave some case law because the government wanted to just say yes. Just send a note back to say yes. He denied that. He couldn't do that. And the defense wanted this. It's with the intent to distribute and all this stuff. Um, but judge said, no, we're not doing that. Judge had to stop Mr. Adnafilo. Mr. Adnafilo, hold on, hold on, hold on. You know. But that was what happened. The jury is deliberating. I think they've been deliberating for about 5 hours just now, near coming up on 6 hours. But they are deliberating. Um, it's 62 pages in this jury instructions. Okay, and yesterday they had a question about distributing and so. Um, that's where we are this morning. Charge them all, and that's it. Thank y'all so much for coming on. Let me read some of y'all comments real quick before I go give you some breakfast. Oh man, listen, let me tell y'all something. Shout out to everybody for the cash apps. I checked my cash app yesterday. I didn't even know I had cash apps. Like, I keep my phone on do not disturb. Like, it's on do not disturb right now. I keep it on do not disturb because I don't really be on my phone while I'm out here trying to work like that. But let me read some of y'all comments real quick. Shout out to everybody that's on Facebook. Shout out to Eric. If I'm too dramatic, pussy ass nigga, you can take your bitch ass to somebody else's page. How about that? Fuck, nigga. Get out my shit. If I roast your pump, pussy, black, ugly ass, let me block you. Get out my goddamn shit. You too fucking dramatic. God damn it. If you talking about the prosecutions, I don't give a fuck. You need to make your shit clear when you come up in my motherfucking shit. No, this is not over a phone. Okay. Living in Texas, you understand all the narcotic laws. Shout out to the baddest motherfucking blogger. What up, Sierra? Hello, Dewana. Hey, keep rising to the top. It's all about the money and who will get paid the most. Exactly. Good morning, good morning, good morning. They say he coming home. I don't know what's going on. If I was Diddy, I would be worried a little bit. The fact that the jury is saying, hey, if I give them this, but they also can consider the fact that if he's intoxicated, if he's high, if he's not in his right mind, they also can consider that, as a reason not to say, oh, he had the intent to distribute it or whatever. But it's just a simple question. You get what I'm saying? That the jury is asking. And I think the judge was just basically saying, we're not trying to overthink their question and we're not trying to add to their question. They're simply just asking, is it a yes or no question? And it will be yes. They may be on the defense side. They may be on the government side. We don't know. This is what I told you. Everybody like to give jury clues and I tell people it's good to give jury clues. But at the end of the day, they can smile in your face and they can find your ass guilty, okay? We do not know. We do know that the Southern District of New York has a 95% conviction rate. And we do know that judges are most likely going to favor the prosecution a lot because the prosecution, always remember that, the prosecution always going to have leeway in a courtroom because they have the burden of proof. And the judge has to give them enough string to prove their case until he has given them too much and they cannot do it. You get what I'm saying? So at this point, this is why jurors are important, especially when you do indictments. When you get ready to, when a prosecutor gets ready to indict someone, if the judge or if the prosecutor feels like, man, I can't make a sole decision on if I have to prosecute this or if I can beyond a reasonable doubt, so let's impanel a grand jury. Then a grand jury comes, okay? Then the grand jury say yay or nay. Okay, yay, nay, boom. Then it goes to legal proceedings. You have a jury that's impaneled like you have in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. And so judges and prosecutors try to take themselves out of making sole decisions, and a lot of times for political reasons. So, the Rule 29 is still at ease, is still deferred. The judge can still rule on that at any time. But this judge seems like he's letting the jury do its job. The jury has the final say-so of this case, okay? And so that was one of their questions this yesterday morning that the judge answered, and I'll repeat it to you. If a recipient asks for a controlled substance and they hand over the controlled substance, did they distribute it? And the short answer would be yes. And the judge gave them particular instructions on where they can find out more information about if you pass something, if someone asks, a cell is not required. All you got to do is hand it over, pass it to somebody. If a recipient asks you for some crack, what you gonna do? Give them the crack, you have distributed. That's all I can tell y'all. I can't come out here and say, oh, city's going down. Because let me tell y'all something. A lot of people come out here and they stand right beside me and they be lying. They come right out the courtroom and get on live and tell y'all a bunch of lies. Be saying shit that didn't even happen. Yesterday, I heard that some girl got on YouTube and she was talking about how Diddy was controlling his lawyers and how Mr. Anifilo was running. No, that did not happen. Them people would. Mr. Anifilo just normally walked up to the table. Diddy sitting right there passing over. That's what defendants are supposed to do. I mean, these people come out. I mean, these people just come out here and they just lie. And if you're not here or if you're not dealing with credible journalists who are really out here that can tell you what's really going on, then you're not going to know the truth, okay? So make sure you keep it locked right here to the NCB. I am live in New York City at the Lower Manhattan Courthouse where Sean Diddy Combs is in a holding cell right now as a jury deliberate his fate. Will Sean Diddy Combs go home or will he spend the rest of his living days behind bars? Today, we could have a verdict, but we don't know when a jury will knock on that door and tell the bailiff we have reached a verdict. So I will be right here in New York City until Sean Diddy Combs receives his fate, whether he's a free man or whether he has to go spend some time in prison, all right? Thank y'all so much for following me. Shout out to all the Cash Apps. I love y'all. I got me a towel today. It's kind of cool right now, so I'm going to have it on my head like this to kind of stay cool or what have you. But, you know, we're here, and I'll see y'all later. I'll check back in with y'all in a little bit, all right?